Yesterday around twilight, the shore power to my RV went out, and it wasn't super obvious why. I thought maybe the power went out to the whole neighborhood because it was the hottest day of the year, and had the air conditioning running all afternoon. So in this video, I'm going to kind of go through with you how I know when my power's out, because power's not on right now. The shore power's not on now. How would I even know because of lithium power and multi-plus inverter? But I'll go through how I tell when my power's out, and I'm going to go through with you how I diagnose what the problem is and fix it.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
So my power problem started last night, and it was right as the sun was setting, and I had come in and had the air conditioner running most of the afternoon, and I'd just taken a shower, and I had just put some water into the microwave to heat up for hot tea. And I also then turned on the TV, and I was looking for a show to watch, and I sat down here with my hot tea on my couch and was scrolling down through to figure out a show to watch, and then it occurred to me that it was feeling a little warm in here, and I'm like, well, the air conditioner should be on. I didn't feel any cold air, and I'm like, okay, so I go over and I check the thermostat, and it's definitely warm enough for the air conditioner to be on. And so let me show you how I tell if the shore power is connected in thin. I walk in here and I look at my wine fridge, because my wine fridge, for whatever reason, this plug here isn't connected to the rest of the house power. It's connected into the shore power, or a generator. So wine fridge is off. I'm like, okay, well now I know my shore power is disconnected, and that affects the air conditioning. That's why I even sensed it. So a good lesson, if you do have this kind of power set up in your RV, and I could certainly have it. I actually planned for having a display up here. This guy's no longer hooked up, and I have a space for it, and I have a chase wire in here where I could pull the wire through. I could do one of those multi-function, I think Victron makes a great one. I forget exactly what you call it, but it's a multi-function display that monitors all your devices, and I believe you can even set something like that up, one for a quick just glance to see what's going on, but also maybe an alarm, like if your shore power disconnects or something. So anyway, that's, for me, it's a little more old school. I just look at my wine fridge. That's my shore power disconnect light. Kind of funny. But yeah, so then here's the process I go through once this happens, because honestly, in an RV, there's a lot of reasons that your shore power disconnects. And so here's the process I go through. Okay, so number one thing that I check, and last night I did this, is I just went over here because I'm running off my mom's property here, and I've got a 50 amp service. So I just checked, one, that the power is on still to the whole neighborhood, which these little lights are running here, so I knew that power's on to the whole neighborhood. And then I walked over and I checked, and there's actually two 50 amp outlets on this, and I couldn't remember the labeling smudged and not up to speed, so I couldn't immediately remember which 50 amp is to which, to the RV, but just checked them both, flipped them back and forth to make sure they didn't blow a breaker. So very quickly I could see that I didn't pop a breaker, and the power isn't off to the whole neighborhood or to the house. So that was step one. Okay, there's a lot going on here, but first of all, let me tell you the two tools that I find to be essential to traveling around and diagnosing these kind of problems. First is a AC voltage tester, and this will just tell you if a line has any power in it, and it's a very important little tool, very handy. And so that's that one. The other one is an actual circuit tester that tests voltage, and this problem that happened actually gives you an example of why you need both these things. Anyway, so first thing, once I verified that power was on, I wanted to verify that power was getting to the RV. And luckily, my power transfer switch is down here and has a cover that I can pop off. And so I came down here and popped this cover off, and I got my little handy voltage tester, and I already have experience in knowing which way things are going, so pretty quickly I could sort that out. But I wanted to see, is there any power in here at all? Red and black are your hots, right? So testing, well, that's why there's no power to the RV. Nothing here has any power in it, right? But over here, the power from the shore is getting into this, but this isn't transferring. So initially I thought, okay, this thing is bad, because it's not transferring power. Okay, so that was, working through the steps and figuring what's wrong. That's where I got to. And I did this just last night in the dark. I just turned on the light here to the hatch, and I could quickly do this. So next thing I did was to start the generator. Okay, so we'll start generator and recreate exactly what I did yesterday. So prime the generator for a sec. Start. This old generator always takes a while to start. Maybe I should have primed it longer. I think that actually would help it start faster. Alright, generator's on. And of course we're over here right by the generator exhaust, but we'll deal with that. Anyway, with generator running, I quickly went back in here again and I tested things. Now I got power to everything, right? So generator's coming into, as a quick review, this is shore power coming in. This is generator power coming in, and these are these disconnects that sense which one it is and transfer over the power from one to one. So with generator on, everything's working correctly. That didn't tell me a whole lot, but I was just curious to know what would happen. I wanted to start weeding things out. So I do know that once power leaves this box, everything's working fine on the RV because now the generator's powering it. So by running the generator, I know that I can prove that beyond this transfer switch, that everything is working fine in the RV, because once I had the generator running, I turned on the air conditioning and everything, and I was fine with the power running. Fine with all the power. Everything was great. So I could sense with this tester that power is getting to this. And I can prove with the generator that power is getting out of this and working fine. So my first suspicion is that the transfer switch isn't working. But if you turn on the tester, and let's test the voltage, right? That's one thing we don't want to do. So I'm putting the black on the common, and I'm testing the black. I'm talking the common is the white, right? So I'm putting our negative terminal for the tester on the common, and I'm testing the positives. And notice that it doesn't show any power. There, it doesn't show any voltage, right? That's weird. Okay, so nothing, but this is why this tester is so brilliant. These are hot wires, right? So your voltage tester would tell you that this is not powered, but your hot voltage circuit is telling you, that it is. So now what happens if we put this up here on the negative, or on the ground bar? And then we try to test our voltage. Now we got voltage, see that? 127 and 128, 127. So we just learned something, didn't we? We learned that this is a very handy tool to stay safe, and that our problem is not here. Our problem is with our common line. So I could have probably caught this problem before it ever happened if I had been paying close attention to this plug. If you look at this, you can see that the terminals are kind of in good shape, pretty clean, except this one, which looks terrible and is like melting a little bit. And guess what? That lower one, that's the common. These two on the left and right center are the hots, and that's the ground. So this kind of makes sense now, doesn't it? All right. It's a pain in the neck, these things. Because how do you even get to that wire? You can see how it could get pulled out if you don't do a good job on this. All right, so let's see these can come out. Yep, and see, problem is obvious when you do that, huh? See, oh, that popped right out of there, didn't it? See if I can salvage this. It's a little corroded, but it should be okay. Problem is, to make sure this doesn't happen again, what I almost have to do is to shorten all of these and clean this guy up and have it just to be a little bit longer. So just a huge pain in the neck to do this, because you have to get these lengths absolutely perfect or that kind of crap happens. So I got this terminal cleaned up where it matters. The wires contact. This apart to do that, so ready to start rebuilding now. Starting with the common. Here, we've done a great job on this. Definitely got a firm connection on everything. Really pretty happy with that. Stay in there. Okay. There. Wires. All the little pockets. I hate doing this. It's a pain in the neck. Okay, my cord is rebuilt, terminal's all cleaned up and fastened on correctly, and so I think I'm ready to plug it back in and see what happens. Make sure we got everything the right way. Alright. Let's go see if we got power now. Okay, there's my verification. Wine fridge is on. So now I can see also power back on. Oh, getting messages. I can also see with power back on that the converter is charging the batteries. Right now it's sending 22.5 amps to each battery. So it's charging, or 23, so it's charging not at its absolute max, but perfectly acceptable amount there, because that'd be about, 44, 45, 46 amps it's charging at right now. That's max is 60, so I'm fine with that. That's the charger.